Alright guys, video 3 on how to beat me. So again, right now we're talking about the offensive, right? You have now gotten into a side control position. I'm hooking underneath the armpit. I've got my knees connected to my opponent's body, and I'm pinching him into his body, right? If he starts to bridge, like he's going to try to get that near side leg in, you have to respond to that. You have to move your arm to the other side. If you don't, then he's liable, or your opponent's going to be, able to start pulling you into their guard, and you don't want that. So I'm going to put my hand down here by the hip just to block that path. Now, if they bridge into me and they start to do that hitchhiker kind of escape here where they're just going to walk around and they're spinning, I'm going to need to come over here and block them as fast as possible. Now, notice, because, he's moving around like this, I'm moving forward here a little bit. If this starts to happen, guys, I need to start to settle my weight. Right? I need to make sure that I don't get rolled when I do that move there. Right? It might be hard, remember that part of that is that he's creating pressure here, so I can't follow him. There are still things that you could do, right? So if he's trying to do that, he's pressuring on here, I might take my arm out and come, under his arm, and then I can just kind of settle down into this kind of north-south position, and if I want to, I might be able to actually get a north-south choke from here, right? And that's one of the things that happens a lot with me. When people start trying to walk away, if I can't follow them, a lot of times I will kind of just accept that I'm going to north-south, right? So give whatever your opponent's doing, respond to that. So pay attention, if they start bringing their arm down here so that they can do that little wiggle escape down to this side, guys, that's great. If he's blocking and trying to get all the way down here, fine. I'm going to take north-south. Okay? So that's kind of my thing here, okay? Remember, we were talking about not losing, and that's your number one priority with any of these techniques. And in this point, when we're talking about this top control or side control position, we're talking about trying to keep space closed, right? We're talking about, maintaining control. Don't lose the control that you worked so hard to get. So, come down, be tight here. Don't necessarily squeeze here, shouldering the jaw just enough so I can't turn my head, right? Your opponent can't turn your head, and you're holding onto the armpit there, okay? And you're responding to whatever your opponent is doing. And that's going to be a big thing. If he brings his arm down here, or he gets it he starts to work his arm down, I might push it here, windshield wiper my feet, and go into that arm ride position that we've talked about from knee ride, right? And it doesn't matter which leg I have, I can always switch it, right? So establish that side control. Notice that I'm not telling you, since we're talking about beating me and all that, I'm not telling you to go for any submissions yet, right? Because again, we just got to a position of control, and your top priority is don't lose, and don't lose that position that you worked so hard for. That is so big, right? You got here, maintain it. So if you start seeing an opportunity that starts to present, pushing off the neck, okay, great. Maybe I'm gonna start setting up that head and arm choke. If I get here and I've got this pinned here, and he clearly can't get his arm back for a while, I might stay here for a second, guys. And I think that's the thing that people, and myself included, that is one of the biggest mistakes people make, is that they get really excited about getting to the submission, that they don't realize that they've been baited, right? So take time, settle into it. If you see that the submission is coming and you're like, okay, I think I can move into a position where it's going to be harder for my opponent to move away from that submission, go ahead and go for that. But really, really, he's push framing off, or, you're able to start getting this arm free. I might just kind of close that space, put my head in the way, one way or the other, so that he can't get that arm back. But, again, if I'm trying to pin that with my head, I may have to extend my leg back so that I can't get rolled, right? Or
put my forehead to the mat so I can't get rolled, or use this hand so I can't get rolled, and keep this pinch here.
And be mindful of him trying to get that leg back under, right? Because when I'm going here, and I might be creating all this space here, and I might think I'm gonna get the submission, but just gonna end up in the guard. And even if his arm is kind of pinned up like this, and he gets back into that guard position, he's in control now, right? If he can get that leg, second leg all the way out, he can start fraying and pushing my hips back. Well, that's gonna create some space there, right? Or if, I'm over on here, he's got that guard position, maybe he can start to hip bump me to the side that I don't have a post on, and he's gonna end up in the mount. So, I know that's kind of long-winded, but I hope you get the point here, right? Where we are creating, we're maintaining the position, and we're recognizing opportunity and starting to capitalize on that without compromising the position. Okay, that is so instrumental. That is so key. So there you guys go. Next one.